Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and I want to go over some big Steam news and updates. This one really making the rounds everywhere on social media right now. Valve reportedly banning games featuring AI-generated content. Definitely a slippery slope, especially when you talk about gaming, and I can certainly understand why Valve is doing this just to cover themselves. We'll talk about that and why this is a sector in gaming that is definitely something that people need to pay attention to, at least how it evolves over the next couple of years and how it's implemented in gaming and how it's legally able to be implemented in gaming as well. So we'll talk about that, and also Metal Gear The Collection has jumped back on Steam. The Steam page is live again. Unfortunate news to come with that. We'll talk that in a little bit. I thought the game was pulled from Steam for a specific reason. That seems to not be the case again. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Valve is reportedly banning games featuring AI-generated content. As noted over on Video Games Chronicle, in a Reddit post spotted by games industry veteran Simon Carlos, a developer recounted submitting an early version of a game to Steam with a few fairly obviously AI-generated assets, which they said they plan to improve by hand in a later build. In response, they were told the game could not be approved unless the developer could prove to Valve that they owned all of the necessary rights. After reviewing, we have identified intellectual property in game name here, which appears to belong to one or more third party. In particular, it contains art assets generated by artificial intelligence that appears to be relying on copyrighted material owned by third parties. As the legal ownership of such AI-generated art is unclear, we cannot ship your game while it contains these AI-generated assets, unless you can confirm you own the rights to all of the IP used in the dataset that trained the AI to create the assets in your game. That's a little wild. Like, if you utilize specific, data to create AI-generated content, you'll have to prove that you own the licenses to all of those, all of that information. So again, it's a very slippery slope, and how things are going to be defined on what AI content in the future is going to be allowed through various platforms, I don't know. Again, this is kind of uncharted territory as far as that's concerned. Valve said it was failing the build and would give the developer a single opportunity to remove all content they don't own the rights to before resubmitting it. We cannot ship games for which the developer does not have all of the necessary rights. At this time, we are declining to distribute your game. It's unclear the underlying AI tech used to create the assets has sufficient rights to the training data. So interesting news here, especially because I think this is going to be a sector that is going to become more and more popular, and a lot more people are going to be talking about and implementing that not only into gaming but other various entertainment mediums. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. You definitely hear people being upset about AI generated content as a whole, especially AI art. That's the one that I see more and more people being incredibly upset about. This is, as far as understanding the specific nuances to it, way out of my pay grade. Like, I only can absorb the information that other people tell me, and especially artists and whatnot. When I hear from other artists and their opinions on AI art, that's gonna be way more relevant than somebody like me that isn't an artist. Like, I would rather hear the artist's point of view, and when I hear their point of view, I can definitely understand why AI generated content is what it is. Sometimes you see, like, the social media posts that are, like, kind of wild. I remember I was on Twitter one time, and I saw, like, somebody post something like, this is a completely AI-generated commercial, and it's gonna soon replace commercials as a whole. Hollywood better watch it, or something to that effect. And the commercial just looked absolutely ridiculous. And obviously, there can be improvements in the technology made, but I think, we gotta hold our horse a little bit when it comes to stuff like this. Let's not push the cart before the horse and all that kind of stuff. And I can definitely understand from Valve's standpoint, this is uncharted territory in a lot of ways, and they're probably like, all right, let's wait a second here, and we don't want to, step on any legal turmoil here, especially, with a big storefront like Steam with so many games coming out. You don't want to set a precedence where something like this happens, and then so many other titles are implementing it, and then you find yourself in a little bit of trouble. But it will be interesting to see how this story evolves over the course of the next couple of years, really. All right, with that out of the way, I do want to quickly note one thing that is a bit disappointing. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 has reappeared on Steam. It is listed at $59.99, which, your opinion of that price point can be what it is. I don't know, $60. I've talked about the price point. It's a little high to me, given that these games are PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. Each game is going to be sold separately at $19.99 a pop. If you buy the bundle, what that'll give you is Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake. We'll also get a couple of bonus content items as well as like soundtrack items, and there's a pre-order bonus as well. The issue here is there was a lot of controversy when the Metal Gear Solid collection came to Steam, and it was noted that MGS Master Collection requires a controller in order to play. Playing with a keyboard and mouse isn't supported. So you're charging $60 for this collection, but you're not supporting keyboard and mouse. That's very, very concerning, and Metal Gear had already been ported to PC. There's like GOG copies available, and from what I hear, I haven't played those copies of the game. They are not the best, to say the least, so this is kind of a red flag. Like, at the end of the day, these are PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games and PS1 games. I don't think people are going into this collection expecting the most refined experience known to man as far as, you know, upgrading these games. They are still very much, you know, they are upgraded releases from a visual standpoint, but they are what they are. This isn't a ground-up remake. We'll get that with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, but for now, this is the HD collection version of the game that is now coming to PC. The fact we have it on Steam, I think a lot of people are just going to take that as a W, but, you know, I thought that the game was being pulled from Steam too because that thing about not supporting keyboard and mouse, that was an error, and then they were going to fix that and then relist it on Steam. Well, I'm wrong, because it's been relisted and that error and that message is still there. Playing with a keyboard and mouse isn't supported. Now, I imagine that the majority of people are gonna play this game with a controller. Like Metal Gear, I feel like is a game that was tailor-made for a controller, and I imagine a lot of people are also gonna be playing a game like this on the Steam Deck. I think from that standpoint, it's gonna be a really worthwhile game to go through, like having it on the go and whatnot, and it's gonna be on Nintendo Switch as well, so you can play it on there. Because prior to this, you know, our experience with Metal Gear Solid on the go, Peace Walker was great, but games out of this collection, Snake Eater was actually ported to the Nintendo 3DS. And for those of you guys that like to look at games with low frame rates, look up some gameplay of Snake Eater on the 3DS, because you know, that frame rate was wild, to say the least. But nonetheless, now you're gonna have it on the deck, you're gonna be able to play it on the Ally. That's pretty cool, but the fact that it is $60 and there's gonna be no KBM support, that is a huge bummer. Like, if it was $40, I could kind of understand that, but the fact that it's a full $60 release, that is incredibly whack. But you know, I'm excited that these games are going to be available on Steam. I think for the majority of people, either you're going to go the route of just emulating these games, or you're going to wait for it for a deep discount. I know there's the hardcore MGS fans, which, you know, at the very least, these games are going to be available on Steam, which is nice. I'm not going to, like, complain too much about that, but what I'm really excited for is Volume 2, which is looking to have Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid 5, which Peace Walker is great, MGS 5 already available on PC, but the big one, Metal Gear Solid 4, which has just been handcuffed to the PlayStation 3 for years and years, but if we can finally get that on PC, that'll be fantastic. So, you know, I'll take the good with the bad. No keyboard and mouse support. That's whack, absolutely, especially for a $60 game, but you know, at least Volume 2 is going to be pretty spicy. So yeah, that'll do it for me. Again, Valve reportedly banning games featuring AI-generated content. Again, this is a story that's probably going to evolve over the next couple of years, but for now, Valve is putting the stamp down that they are going to be banning titles like this. And Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, back on Steam, but keyboard and mouse still not supported, which is a huge bummer. I imagine it's going to be modded in, but guys, that argument does not really work. I saw a lot of people saying that about Starfield as well. Oh, DLSS is just going to be modded in. You shouldn't be, like, justifying the fact that, yes, mods are great, but developers can at least do the bare minimum in terms of implementing features that are pretty standard, like keyboard and mouse support, and not, you know, blocking DLSS. I mean, that's just my 2 cents, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.